Okay, hopefully you can see this. Um, I'll just do kind of a little bit of everything. Uh, those first ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, are all about the same. Uh, I'll just do number 2 on the homework. So it's 3st squared minus 9s cubed t plus 6s squared t squared. So I always look at my numbers 3, 9, and 6 and see what I can take out of all of them. So I can take a 3 out. And then s, you have to go with the smallest power. Sorry, shouldn't have had those parentheses yet. So I can take an s out of everything. And then I have a t squared, a regular t, and a t squared. So the most I can take out is a t. And then it's kind of like dividing. So what's left is like 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. S divided by s, that's 1. And then t, we have 1. There's 2 here. We took 1 out, so we still have 1 left. And then minus, I think of 9 divided by 3, so I have 3 left. I took 1 s out. There's 3 there, so I have 2 left. And then I took the t out. And then plus, I have 6 divided by 3 will give me 2. I have s squared. I have 1s there, so I still have 1 here. And then same thing with my t. I have a t squared, and then I still have a t there. So I have a t left. And that's about it that we can do here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all the same. Now these next ones, hopefully you guys remember, we've done a lot of this. It just has like a step done for you already. So if you look at 5, 21 minus 7t plus, lost it, 3r minus rt. Sometimes you might have to rearrange things, but uh, this is like before when we would multiply the first and the last and then we would group them. It's already done that. It's rewrote the middle problem, which I'll kind of refer back to one of them where we've done that. Like number 10, I can kind of show you. So you have 4 terms. So group them. That's what you should do first. And then what can I take out of both of these? I can take a 7 out. And then 21 divided by 7 will give me 3 minus, and then I still have a t there. And then 3r and rt, the most I can take out of there is an r. So I have a 3 left there. And then minus my t. Because I didn't take any, I only took r out of here and I only took r out of there. So then, just like before, your parentheses have to match up. And they do. So then I have what's on the outside of my parentheses is 7 plus r. And then what's on the inside is 3 minus my t. And then that's it. So like 7, we've done 7 a lot. So if you remember, my first, so it has 3 terms, so I can't group them like we did on 5. And then you always want to check like number 2, we just factored something out. Well, if there's nothing in common on all 3 of them, so we can't do that. If you remember from before, you look at your first term. If there's a coefficient of 1, so there's like nothing in front of your y squared, you can go to your last term, 96, and what multiplies to 96 but add to 20. This is our shortcut version here. And so multiples of 96 added to 20 would be 12 and 8. And so then in its y squared, so remember that breaks down to y and y, and those are both positive, so you have y plus 12 and then y plus 8. So you guys have done this before. So on like number 8, there's 4 terms. So you group them. I always group right away, and then you might have to rearrange terms if you can't get parentheses to match, like here. So what's in common here, 4 and 2, we can obviously take a 2 out, and they both also have an a, so you can take a 2a out. So then here, 4 divided by 2 is 2. You took this a out, and we have b. Now one thing, we took all that out, but you can't lose that value there, because you have to remember 2a divided by 2a is still a 1, so you can't lose that there. And then you have 6b and 3, so you can take a 3 out of both of them. And then 6 divided by 3 is your 2, and you still have b. Then again, 3 divided by 3 is 1. That can't disappear. So my parentheses match. They have to. So I go from the outside, 2a plus 3, and then what's on the inside. And then like 9 and 10. I think 9, I can't quite see it actually. Yeah, 9 and 10 are similar, and 12. So I'll do 10. 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. So always check if you can take something out, which you can't. Now, if you look back at 7, this had a coefficient of 1. This does not. So if you remember, you have to multiply your first and your last. So 6x squared times negative 3 would give you negative 18x squared. And then multiples of this that add to 7, positive 7. So do a positive 9x and a negative 2x. Now here we have to rewrite it. So first term stays, and then your two middle terms, and then your last term stays. Now this is identical to the 4 terms. So like what we did on number 5, you went straight to grouping because there's 4 terms. 6, you would have went straight to grouping. 8, we went straight to grouping. So again, here's your 4 terms. So now we group them. And then so now these are all identical. This just happened to already rewrite it. It already rewrote your middle terms. And then what can we factor out of here? I can take 3x, because 3 goes into both 6 and 9, and they both have an x. And then 6 divided by 3 will give me a 2, and I have 1x left. And then 9, 3. Now notice we almost have this exactly, but my signs are off. So they're both negative, so we just need to take out a negative 1. And that'll turn to a positive, and that will turn to a positive. And then my parentheses match. So outside, and then inside. And then 11, quick. Sorry, I didn't think of this very smartly. So just like 7, notice there's a 1 in front of here, so we can go right to our last term. Negative 8, multiples of negative 8 to add to negative 8. So I'm just going to write all my multiples of 8. I have 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. And then obviously positive the negatives. So this would give me 9. It could be negative 9. It could give me 7, negative 7. You're never going to get 8. Then here you're going to get 6, 2, negative 6, negative 2, all sorts of things. You're never going to multiply to a negative 8 and add to a negative 8. Can't. It's not possible. So it's prime. Or like doesn't factor, whatever. Okay.